Hi again, and welcome to the other side. You know, there are a lot of myths that surround this thing we call whiplash. Some people don't even feel it's a real problem, and others just say, it's just somebody trying to make money off of somebody else. Well, I feel the number one myth is the most dangerous and the most deceptive. And that myth is that if there's no crush to the vehicle, there can't be an injury to the occupant. And we're going to look at two different car accidents to see if that's true. When you first look at this car, you probably think the same thing that I did. I thought that whoever was in this car is probably dead or at the very least seriously injured. Well, today we're at a friend of mine towing company, and she has told me that in fact there were two people in this vehicle and it flipped 4, 5, maybe 6 times down the highway. And not only did these people escape death and serious injury, but they both got out and walked away. When you look at it, you would never have guessed that. Well, let's look at a second vehicle over here. Go ahead, you can take a look at this bumper. At closer look, you don't really see that there's anything wrong with it, do you? But I know for a fact that this truck was rear-ended and the driver has suffered from neck pain and headaches. How do I know that? Because this is my truck, and last November I was rear-ended by a Chevy 1500. Now, it doesn't look like there's any damage to my truck, but his front bumper was dented and dropped, he crushed his headlight, and he was dripping radiator fluid. Now, in order to get to your own radiator, you have to hit somebody pretty hard. So when he hit me square on that trailer hitch, which put all his momentum and force through my frame, into me, and into my neck. And ever since then, I've had more headaches and more neck pain than I've ever had before. And at the time, if you looked at the x-rays, you would clearly see my neck was not normal. Now fortunately, most of my symptoms have been neck pain and headaches, which is bad enough as it is. But other people can suffer from numbness and tingling in the arms and the hands, in the legs and the feet. They can have back pain, they can have dizziness, they can have ringing in the ears, just to name a few. Do any of these describe you? And just by looking at it, you don't think anything would be wrong. So I really do not buy into the myth that if there's no crush to the vehicle, there's no injury to the occupant. And there are a lot of other myths that surround this thing we call whiplash, and really, they need to be cleared up. And in order to do so, I'd like to invite you to a presentation where we'll talk about these myths and the solutions to the problems. And I'd also like to share with you what I've done to alleviate my pain and what we've done to help hundreds of other people relieve their pain and live a pain-free life. The presentation is free for the first 20 people who register. And after that, we're going to have to ask for a nominal fee of $10 to help us cover the costs. But don't worry, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to try to sell you a timeshare for a condo in Cuba or anything like that. All I really want to do is help people in pain who are suffering needlessly. I want to help them get out of pain and live a pain-free life. So register right now, and we'll see you at the dinner.